broadcast is a presentation of the ND Sports Channel.
Grishal has it. Grishal puts up a long three. It's in at the buzzer! 10:50 to go here, and the faceoff is won by North-South onto the stick of Caitlin Armin. Armin feeds it in for Abby Promisberger, and Promisberger with the hat trick. 41-37, 4:25 to go here as the Kindred Vikings will work it down low, and now there's slam dunk and one. How about that? A slam dunk by Gavin Keller, and he got fouled on the two-handed throwdown. And he'll put it right on goal and right into the goal! Ethan Olsen on a free kick. Henningsgaard tries to cut through the lane. Outlet pass into the corner there for Heinitz. Back over to Henningsgaard, wide open for three. Got it and one! Wow! And put your outfielders in left and left center because that one's going to left field and that's gone. That is a two-run shot for Kenzie McKinnon. It's taken away there by Carson Abrahamson. She has a breakaway. One-on-one hard. She scores! 16 fouls. And the pass is intercepted by Overby. Overby has an opportunity to dunk it. He nailed it. The two-handed throwdown. All right, welcome.
Thank you to Victoria and Liz. And now for the starting lineups. First, the visitors on the scoreboard, the Fargo Davies Eagles. Starting in the goal, junior, number 0, Brianna Nelson.
Let's see if we can turn down the background music a little bit. So Fargo Davies will be in their white jerseys with gold numbers. That will be a little bit tricky, folks. I will give you that one. I'll start off by saying that, but I'm confident that it won't be as bad as I'm thinking it will be. It's kind of a mental thing I got to get over.
Starting at midfield, senior.
Your starters for Fargo Davies. In goal will be Brianna Nelson. Defenseman Michaela Barnick, the forward Megan Barnick, and then the other forward Allie Matter. The midfielder Emily Hansen, the midfielder Avery Byer, the defenseman Taylor Wills. Let's see here, the forward Alyssa Paper. Kylie Glover is a senior defenseman, and then Livia Karnick will be a freshman forward. And then Maddie Langley will wrap up your 11 starters for the Fargo Davies Eagles. She's a junior defenseman. So once again, Brianna Nelson, a junior, in the goal in the net here
for the home team on the scoreboard, the Fargo South Bruins. Starting at midfield forward, sophomore number 2, Haley Hansen. Starting at defense midfield, senior number 6, Allie Rowe.
And we have a shocker score that just came in. Hankinson, fast pitch, also known as Hankinson, Lidgewood, Fairmont, Campbell, Tinta, Rossholt. And I believe Weinmere is in there too. Actually defeats Central Cass for the first time ever. Final score is 6-3.
Starting at defense midfield, junior number 13.
Highlights of that game will be on WDAY later tonight.
Starting at midfield forward,
I want to thank Alicia for sending that score our way. Here's your starters for the Fargo South Bruins. Sophomore midfielder forward, number 2, Haley Hansen. Then you got Allie Roll, senior. Molly Sunbaum, excuse me, who is a senior. Kiana Robinson, a freshman defenseman / midfielder. Lexi Johnson, a freshman goalie, will be starting in the net.
Schools would like to acknowledge Sanford Sports
Let me circle that one here so I don't forget that one. Usually I put the goalies at the top of the list, but this one ends up in the middle. So Lexi Johnson, your freshman, starting goal for Fargo South. Then you got Ashley Sather, Avery Myers, Olivia Abel, Sayla Fredericks, Sadie Wilson, and Karina Grothman, your starters for Fargo South. Once again, 40-minute halves as we are in the going to get ready to start the first half of play. We'll center up on midfield there with the camera. Mike Mason with you here from let's try it again. From Brant Kwame Field at Fargo South High School. We are currently at a temperature of 62 degrees under a partly cloudy sky. It was nice and sunny here for the junior varsity game, a game in which Fargo Davies won 2-0. If you missed that game, it's available for a 24/7 replay, probably in about 10 minutes from now on our website, the same will apply to this game once it comes to a conclusion. Sunset for tonight is about 8:15, and we're underway. Fargo South in the yellowish gold jerseys going from right to left. Fargo Davies in their white jerseys with gold numbers going from left to right. And right now, Fargo Davies and South battling for it here on the near sideline, and we have a whistle and a free kick for Fargo South. 39:40 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Once again, in goal for Fargo Davies is the junior Brianna Nelson. In goal for Fargo South Bruins is the freshman Lexi Johnson. Free kick coming up here for Fargo South. And the kick is touched and, for the moment, controlled by Fargo Davies. Centering pass will go behind the net instead of in front of it. Deflected out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Fargo South. Lexi Johnson, the freshman. We do have the binoculars out. However, looking through glass, it's a little hard to see. So we'll do the best we can with those gold numbers on white jerseys that from far away look like white numbers on white jerseys. So that one will be tough. I tried to tell myself it wouldn't be as bad as I thought it would be, and I'm starting to wonder if I might be wrong. Fargo South will control the ball now. Just over the midfield stripe. Fargo Davies are good at back. Nice ball movement, working it up the near sideline here. Trying to get by a couple of the defenders. One of the defenders there for Fargo South was Haley Hansen, the sophomore. And Hansen will boot it away into the middle of the field where it was touched there by Sadie Wilson. Now the ball will bounce to the near sideline there. And Davies will get it right back about 50 yards away from the goal. Once again, keep in mind those numbers on the football field. Add 10 to it, and that tells you how far away from the goal that they are. Right now, they're about 20 yards away as they work the ball to the near sideline. Now the centering pass, but a little too much on that centering pass. So go over to the far corner. Davies will keep control of it, though. And we have a whistle, and it will be a free kick here for Fargo South. 37-25, clock only stops for goals and maybe significant long-term injury situations, but otherwise it just continues to tick and tick and tick. Partly cloudy and 62 here at Brent Kwame Field in Fargo South High School. Fargo Davies and Fargo South girls high school soccer here on the ND Sports Channel. My name is Mike Mason. Hope you're having a great evening. If you missed the junior varsity game, Fargo Davies scored 2 goals in the first 10 to 12 minutes of that first half of the junior varsity game, and that would be all they would get in. They had a couple more opportunities, but Fargo South playing some much better defense in that second half.
In for the Bruins, number 10, Bryn Nelson.
Bryn Nelson comes in, and she'll swap spots with Kiana Robinson, who will come out for Fargo South. Bryn Nelson will have the toss here from the near sideline.
Help her out.
So Nelson will toss it in. And it'll be picked up there by Fargo Davies. That's Emily Hansen. And now it's taken away by Fargo South. Fargo South tried to move the ball up to midfield where it was intercepted there by a Fargo Davies player. Popped over to the far sideline onto the foot there of Olivia Karnick. Karnick will work it down the far sideline. Now centering pass in there, and a shot on goal just over the top and wide left off the foot of Alyssa Paper, the senior for Fargo Davies. Remains scoreless here with 35 minutes and 40 seconds counting to go here in the first half of play from Brent Kwame Field at Fargo South High School. Fargo South will have the ball, but now Fargo Davies will take it away, and Fargo South will get it right back. Sadie Wilson in on the exchange there, and now Fargo Davies gets control of it. A nice pass inside there, and coming out is Lexi Johnson to avoid the incoming offensive player there for the Eagles, and a nice save by the freshman for Fargo South. Now the ball will come out just shy of midfield. Bruins will work it over the midfield stripe, but it'll be picked up there by a group of Fargo Davies defenders. Ball will go out of bounds. It'll be an Eagles throw-in from the far sideline with 34:51 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Hope you're having a great evening. It's cooled down. It was nice and sunny, and you could say, for lack of better wording, hot. And now it's sunny and cool. It's exactly the temperature that a soccer game should be played in my humble opinion. I played a lot of soccer when I was in high school. These are the kind of games that I enjoy playing. Fargo Davies will work it up the near sideline here, and that will eventually go out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles, and back to the Bruins it will go for a throw-in.
Go Haley.
Avery checked that. It's Bryn Nelson with the toss. Toss comes right back to Bryn and out of bounds, and that should be an Eagles throw-in, and it is. They'll put it into the hands of Michaela Barnick, the sophomore here for Fargo Davies, and she'll make the run and toss it in, and that will be first touch there by Fargo South's Molly Sunbaum. And now we'll have a whistle and a free kick for Fargo South there as a couple of ankles get tangled up there, one of them being Ashley Sather, the junior for Fargo South. So Britton Nelson, the freshman, will take the kick here for Fargo South. Set it up and boot it up over the midfield stripe. Ball's advanced and it's booted out of bounds by the Davies defenseman. It'll be a Fargo South throw-in here as the Fargo South Bruin fans getting into this one early here. 33 minutes to go in the first half. Once again, 40-minute halves here in high school soccer on the North Dakota side. I'm pretty sure that's the same on the Minnesota side as well. Picking it up there is Avery Byer for Fargo Davies, and now that will go out of bounds off the foot of, I believe that might have been Caitlin Matter. I think there was a 6 on that jersey. Bryn Nelson will throw it in.
Let's go. Come on, Haley.
Threw it in just off the camera there. We apologize for that. Now Fargo South will control it. Ricocheted around there, and Davies will boot it out. Up towards the midfield stripe. Battle for the ball still. Bruins look like they'll have possession of it. They'll put it onto the foot there of Ashley Sather. And booted up by Bryn Nelson. This is an opportunity here on the near corner for Haley Hansen. And the ball will go out of bounds, and that will result in a Fargo South throw-in. As soon as they track down the ball. I'm not exactly sure how far it went. There it comes. 31-40. Once again, the clock does not stop unless a goal is scored.
Come on, Haley.
I want to be popped up there by Eagles defenseman. Haley Hansen tried to make a move on it, but ball gets deflected out of bounds for another Bruin throw-in. 31-20 and counting here to go in the first half of play between the Eagles and the Bruins. Still scoreless here early in the first half as that one's booted right back out of bounds. Headed, actually, and it'll remain Fargo South soccer ball.
Go Avery.
Hillsborough Central Valley defeats Grafton 11-5 in game 1 of a doubleheader. We'll keep you updated on those scores as they come in.
Come on, Haley. Come on, girl.
Get to some other soccer scores. There's a play in front of the net. That'll end up being a goal kick here for Fargo Davies.
Control.
Knock it down, girl.
Softball score in as well.
Score.
Let's see here. West Fargo Cheyenne defeats Devils Lake 9-0. Minot defeats Watford City 23-0 in 5 innings. And Jamestown defeats Bismarck Century by the final score of 4-3. Once again, those 3 scores are all softball scores for you. 30 minutes and change to go here in the first half. Almost 10 minutes gone, and now it is 10 minutes gone as we cross the 30-minute mark of the first half. Throwing for Fargo South from the far sideline. Come in the direction there is Sadie Wilson, the junior. And then the ball will work its way back up to about midfield. They'll pass it on to the foot of Bryn Nelson. Nelson will try and work it up, but Davies is going to try and take it away here. Now a loose ball, either team can get it. Fargo South will pick it up. Advance it out to the near sideline and a quick boot into the middle of the field in the direction there of Karina Grothman. Grothman won't be able to control it, and the ball will escape over to the far sideline. Fargo Davies will come up that far sideline, and a nice through ball there, and this could be an opportunity. Centering pass, one-on-one. Was she offside? She was not. It's 1-0 Fargo Davies. I was waiting for the flag to go up, but the offside, she must have just barely been right in line with that last defender. And that allows Fargo Davies to get on the board. We'll get the official goal call here in a moment. The goal comes at the 29-20 mark.
Scoring for the Eagles, number 8, Allie Matter.
Allie Matter puts Fargo Davies on the board, 29-20. Right now working is Megan Barnick. Barnick will bounce it up here, and I can't quite see who that is on the near side. That's Allie Matter once again, the goal scorer. That one will go over the yellow line, and I believe that'll be a goal kick. Or will be a corner kick. I'm not sure who touched it last, so we'll find out momentarily here. And it does appear to be a corner kick here for Fargo Davies, or is it a throw-in? Yep, it will be a throw-in. So it was right in the corner there, and I couldn't quite see which way it went out of bounds. In addition to who touched it last. There's a shot, and now a turnaround shot. They'll go wide left of the goal. So 28-11 to go here. Allie Matter gets the Fargo Davies Eagles on the board. At the 29-20 mark of the first half. It's 1-0 Fargo Davies over Fargo South. 27:54 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Ooh, and that one hit the post. They'll try again. Another shot on goal, go wide left. And that's actually, I just now noticed the net behind the net. Love that idea. Saves a little bit of time on chasing some of those balls down. Goal kick here for Lexi Johnson. Come up towards the far sideline. Fargo Davies will boot it right back in. Now battle for the ball. And Fargo South will win that battle, at least for the moment. Looking for a centering pass, but the centering pass was partially deflected. Keeps it on that far sideline there. Now over the midfield stripe. Fargo Davies will drop it back into their defensive zone. And here's an opportunity. Nope, it'll get in there first is Brianna Nelson. 26:54 and counting. Nelson will boot it away up over just shy of midfield. Where it'll be picked up there. First touch by Sadie Wilson. Wilson will fire it back into the offensive zone there for Fargo South. 26:40 to go. Nelson will boot that one away. Nice boot. And that will be assisted booted about another 10 yards there right at the midfield stripe. Ball finds its way over to the far sideline and out of bounds for a Fargo Davies throw-in. Lights are on here at Brant Kwame Field. Sunset is set for 8:17. That's an hour and 3 minutes away. As a matter of fact, they just updated it to 8:15, so an hour and 1 minute away. Fargo Davies on the board with a goal from Allie Matter at the 29-20 mark of the first half. And now working it over on the far side there, Sadie Wilson for Fargo South. Ball will go out of bounds. It will remain a Bruin soccer ball, and throw in from just to the right side of the midfield flag on the far sideline there. Keeping you updated.
In for the Eagles, number 7, Taylor Lawrence, and number 18, Sophia Frappier. And back in for the Bruins, number 9, Kiana Robinson.
Turn that down a little bit, and she's onside. And this could be an opportunity for Fargo Davies. No, the shot's gonna go a little bit wide right.
Come on, Ashley!
24:47 to go here. 1-0 lead for Fargo Davies. The ball will get booted out of bounds. And it'll be a Fargo South throw-in. I believe that's Bryn Nelson who's going to chase after the ball here. I believe that was Mike Beaton who assisted just out of the camera view there. And it is indeed Bryn Nelson who will make the toss.
Go, Molly, get her out of there.
That'll come in onto the foot of Molly Sunbaum. If I'm saying that wrong, please text us. 701-404-9072 is our station phone number. Battle for the ball over on the far sidelines there. Working it there pretty well is Avery Myers, the junior for Fargo South. Now they'll advance the ball up where it's taken away by Fargo Davies.
Go, Selah.
Come on, Haley!
Go, Haley. Turn and burn. Go, Haley.
Go, Haley!
Nice boot up the field, but that shouldn't be a problem for Nelson as she will work her way up, and the flag is up offsides. Update from Fargo Shanley. The Deacons are hosting the Fargo North Spartans, and the Deacons strike first. It's 1-0 in favor of Fargo Shanley over Fargo North in girls soccer. We'll keep you updated on that game as the scores come into us. Certainly appreciate those who send them into us. So 1-0 here, Fargo Davies lead, and 1-0 down at Shanley. The Deacons lead the Spartans. Just under 23 minutes to play, 22:57 and counting to be exact, here in the first half, as we have a free kick on the horizon here for Fargo South.
Go, Bruin!
Nelson will wind up and drill it right on the ground, and Fargo Davies will bounce it right back.
Go, Molly. Get it, Molly. Good job, Molly.
Nice pass. They work it onto the foot there of Sather. Sather has her ball advancement upfield taken away by Fargo Davies. And now another nice pass. I believe that might be, I can't see the jersey number. Oh, we have this short pause in play here. We're going to make an adjustment on our camera. All right, we'll try that.
Big kick, girls!
See if we can get a better view on those Eagles jersey numbers from that camera view here. It's what we've been using to get a little bit of help on that. That is Allie Matter. Much easier to see now. Allie Matter working the ball there, being guarded by Kiana Robinson. And now Fargo South will take it away, at least for the moment. Nice battle for it. Through ball. That's going to be picked up by Bryn Nelson. Nelson tried to boot it out of there. It'll end up, oh, that was a kick by Ashley Sather right into the chest of, I believe that was Robinson. Or no, check that. Yeah, I think it was Robinson, number 8. Don't have instant replay, so I can't tell for sure. But making the toss there, Michaela
In for the
Barnett,
Eagles, number 3,
sophomore.
Jensen Seidel, and number 6, Katie Matter. And in for the Bruins, number 24, Sasha Coyer.
There you go, your substitutions there. And a nice save there off the one hop from the kick from Fargo Davies for Lexi Johnson, the freshman goalie for the Bruins. She'll boot that one up, and it will fall right around the 35-yard line mark. Once again, add 10 to that to tell you how far away from the goal they are. If you can get the camera advanced a little to the left there to follow the ball. Thank you very much. And here's an opportunity, maybe, for Fargo Davies. So we have a free kick here from about 45 yards away from the goal. Nelson will line up, drill it in, and a one-hopper right into the hands of the goalie, Brianna Nelson. Now she'll boot it away. And that one will drop right over the midfield stripe. Couple of hops, and it's controlled by Fargo South. I want to say hi to Greta Jacobson. Did get your message. I got the preview of it. I'll read the full message here when the opportunity presents itself. It's our third, or actually our fourth broadcast now from Brant Kwame Field in South Fargo at Fargo South High School. The junior varsity game that was played right before this one, and then so now we've done officially 2 soccer games and 2 football games.
In for the Bruins, number 22, Sadie Wilson.
At Brant Kwame Field. So 2 football, 2 soccer. So I'll have to email Mike and tell him to. I lost my train of thought there.
Good job, go Haley! Hard!
Nice advancement down the near side of the field. That will go out of bounds. And here comes the toss. Working the ball there for Fargo Davies is Alyssa Paper. A couple passes later. I think that's Paper once again, and it is. And we'll have a whistle, and I didn't, the refs holding the flag down. I didn't see what happened. It's a free kick. It was just off camera, and I didn't look out the window to see what the hand signal was from the official, but I'm guessing it's a penalty, which will result in this free kick. And the free kick will be advanced onto the foot of Kiana Robinson, and Robinson will get it right back. Now she's looking for a centering pass. And she'll try and advance the ball upfield, and oh, she was in position but couldn't quite get to the ball.
In for the Bruins, number 13, Avery Myers.
Nelson will come out and grab that one, and that will stop the Fargo South threat for the moment. They'll toss it out to the near sideline. It was initially touched there by Caitlin Matter. it onto the foot of Michaela Barnick, and now just out of camera, I can't see where the ball's at. Fargo South will take that ball away. Apologize there for the momentary silence in the commentary. Bryn Nelson will pick that one up. And that will stop the Fargo South attack with 14-17 and counting as Nelson will boot that one away. And we'll have a throw-in for Fargo Davies on the far side of the field.
In for the Eagles, number 4, Megan Barnick, and number 22, Olivia Karnick.
Throw-in goes up the far sideline where it's headed by Fargo South. Zoom out just a little bit there. Have to make a decision on where to put that scoreboard. We had it at the bottom for the JV game. And now at the top for the varsity game, it's not much better. So we'll figure something out.
Get on her. Get out. Get up there.
Lexi Johnson will pick that one up. She'll boot it up the field. Fargo Davies will control it, and they'll try and work it back up top of the goal box there, and we have a whistle. It'll be a free kick for Fargo South.
Big kick, Molly, big kick. Go, Corinna. Go, Corinna, hard!
We'll have a free kick for Fargo Davies now.
Way to go, Corinna!
Good hockey skills, Greta!
1-0 off the goal by Allie Matter. Came about 17 minutes ago. And Greta, if you're still watching at halftime there, I will read your message and give you a response right on the air here. She has a question slash comment slash suggestion. It's probably the best word to use of those three for us. So we'll give you our feedback on that suggestion here coming up at halftime. That's about 12 minutes away. 11 minutes, 50 seconds to be exact. Once again, you can follow us and send us messages on our Facebook page as well. You can also tag us on Twitter at NDSportsCH1 as Allie Matter will pick up the ball. Advance it up the near sideline, just out of camera. That one will hit the crossbar off the corner kick, which was off camera. And we apologize for that. I want to say hi to Carmen Jacobson-Biddle, if I'm saying that correctly. Watching the Fargo South Bruins and cheering on Kiana. I believe it's, let me double check the roster here to make sure.
Coming in for the Eagles, number 8,
yes,
Allie Matter, number 12,
freshman.
Emily Hansen, and number 21, Asia Keller.
Plays defenseman / midfield for the Bruins. And Carmen from Long Island, New York, watching on the ND Sports Channel tonight. Certainly appreciate that. Fargo Davies leading 1-0 here. And there, another shot on goal, and Lexi Johnson will swallow that one up. 9:57 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Emily Post scores for Fargo Shanley. That extends the Deacon lead over the Spartans 2-0 in girls soccer. That came in just a few seconds ago. So right now, Fargo Shanley leading Fargo North 2-0 in that girls soccer matchup. Keep you updated on those scores as they continue to come into us here. Right now, Fargo South in the attack zone here and trying to make a move on the ball. Now will be booted out of bounds. That will temporarily end the threat from Fargo South, as I'll have to restart that threat from the far sideline on the throw-in. Now will be booted back down towards midfield and out of bounds, and another throw-in for Fargo South. 9:07 to go here in the first half of play. We'll also get you caught up on some softball scores that have been have gone final, and there's some games currently in progress. We'll try and get you updated with all of those at halftime here. We'll have about a 10-minute halftime show. Get you a recap on the first half of this one here. Here's another opportunity. Centering pass. Oh, it just went wide right of the net. Not sure if that was a centering pass or a shot on goal, or maybe whichever one it turned out to be. And in that case, it turned out to be a shot on goal that went a little bit wide right. And Lexi Johnson will set it up now for the free kick for Fargo South. For the goal kick, I should say, for Fargo South. 8:25 and counting to go here in the first half. It's Lexi Johnson. Lexi Johnson.
In for the Bruins,
goalie.
number 21,
There
Hannah
we go.
Weiler.
Now she's on camera.
Go, Hannah! Go, Hannah!
That ball will go out of bounds. I believe it is a Fargo South throw-in, and it is. So Bryn Nelson just going off camera now. We'll chase that one down. She'll come back on camera when she comes back with the ball, and she'll hand it off there to her teammate, which I believe is, let's see, number 9. That is Kiana Robinson. There you go. Allie Matter, ooh, she got pushed from behind there by Sadie Wilson. And we'll see here. No, I'm just going to get a verbal warning on that. At least I didn't see the yellow card come out. Yep, it's going to be a verbal warning. So if that happens again, she's in trouble. We'll put it that way. Making the kick here is going to be Megan Barnick. Barnick will fire it in. A shot. Oh, and it was an ankle save on the left ankle for Lexi Johnson to pop that ball right back out. Now Allie Matter will have it again. No, check that. I'm sorry. That's Megan Barnick with the ball. And she'll put a shot on goal and getting down on both of her knees as Lexi Johnson to scoop that one up. It remains 1-0 here with 6:47 to go. And nearly an opportunity for Fargo Davies to make it 2-0 as Lexi Johnson will boot that one away. And it will go to Fargo South. Right around midfield. But now Allie Matter has the ball here for the Eagles. Allie Matter will dribble down the near sideline, look for a centering pass. Nobody there. Fargo South momentarily takes it away. But Fargo Davies able to recuperate there from that. And now they're looking to try and set something up here. Centering pass is blocked on the front side of the hip of Allie Rowe. And another shot that's blocked by the back of an ankle of a Fargo South midfielder. That one will be popped up and a couple hops, so it'll end up in the hands of Lexi Johnson. And she'll set it up to boot it away. Lexi Johnson, a freshman for Fargo South. Once again, we love all the schools here on the ND Sports Channel. So our way of being neutral is to be excited for both teams. That seems fair, right? It's better than being boring for both teams. I don't know anybody who is boring, but I'm probably not in that category. I'm confident enough to say that. So, of course, I want to thank. Oh, here's an opportunity. Oh, it's off the post. Trying to catch the jersey number. I think it was Allie Matter. It was. Allie Matter sending it off the post there. So free kick here for Fargo South. I was saying something early and I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I wanted to thank Mike Beaton, the athletic director for Fargo South, as well as Lenny Olhauser, the athletic director for Fargo Davies, for getting me the rosters for the teams earlier today. There's a nice pass. Allie Matter might have an opportunity. Instead, she sends it into the middle. Left-handed shot on goal goes a little bit wide left and out of bounds. That'll only result in a goal kick for Lexi Johnson. Of course, we covered a lot of Fargo Davies boys soccer last fall.
In for the Bruins, number 2, Haley Hansen.
Matter of fact, the only game they lost on the ND Sports Channel was the state championship game, which turned out to be 0-0 until about 2 minutes remaining in the second half, when West Fargo would finally put one in, and that's all they would need to win that state title game. That was a great game. We have the radio broadcast of that available for a replay. We don't have video on that, as state tournaments are either restricted or a little bit out of our budget currently. The clock is currently stopped with 3 minutes and 53 seconds, and let's see here. Looks like we have a substitution possibly for Fargo South. Just about to run into your camera, and there she is. I believe that's Bryn Nelson. I'm not sure who went out, though, is the question. Another shot that goes a little bit high, and now the clock starts ticking again, 3:40. Once again, normally the clock stops for just goals. And in certain other circumstances, it will stop for other things, like an extended injury timeout or whatever the case was in that last, maybe a substitution possibly. I don't remember it stopping for substitutions. I'll have to go to the NDHSA website and refresh my memory on the rules for clock stoppages in soccer. But honestly, I was on there the other day, and I don't know if they had any or not. Sometimes when you go to look for a specific rule, they don't have it. They just have the generic stuff that everybody knows. Not necessarily a complaint, but .245 and counting to go here in the first half of play. As the throw-in will be touched first by Fargo South. And losing it there and picking it up is Barnick. Barnick will have to reverse, and now she'll send it across for Allie Matter. Matter got in front of the defender. She has a wide angle here, and she tried to make the wide angle shot, but it'll go out of bounds. 2:24, 2:23 and counting. Bryn Nelson will set up the free kick here from
in for the Eagles, number 15, Alyssa Paper.
The near corner of the penalty box. And I believe that is number 12. That is Emily Hansen, the junior for Fargo South, who took that initial shot on goal there. Got deflected, and now it ends up on the foot of Fargo South, Sayla Fredericks, a junior for the Bruins. Fargo Davies throw in. If you message us on Facebook or tag us on Twitter, we will say hi. We'll say hi to all the ones that come across. If we don't get them into the game, we'll get them during the halftime show. But we'll get them. And we'll check it before we conclude our post-game show to make sure that we got them all. So feel free to say hi. We'd love that. It's Michaela Barnick here on the near sideline for the Eagles. Pushes it up to Allie Matter. Matter has it deflected out of bounds there by Fargo South's Bryn Nelson. And there'll be a throw-in for the Eagles. And making the toss will be Michaela Barnick.
1 minute left in the half.
You may have heard it in the background. 1 minute to go. Shot on goal, hit the crossbar, and had that been a little bit lower, it would have went over the hands of Lexi Johnson. Fargo South catching a lucky break there on that one, and it remains 1-0 with 44 seconds to go. And Lexi Johnson will allow her teammates a moment to catch their breath after that one there, and now booted away, but Fargo Davies gets it right back. First half of play, 30 seconds to go. That'll be booted out of bounds there and up on the far sideline. The white ball kind of got lost on the white sideline of the football field there, so. But we were able to track it down, at least I was anyway. I'm not sure about anybody else, but. 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Another Fargo South throw-in. One last push possibly here for the Bruins. 5 seconds to go. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and the horn. And that will end the first half of play. We go to halftime with your score. Fargo Davies 1, Fargo South 0. The goal was scored by Allie Matter, the senior, at the 29-20 mark of the first half. We'll take a timeout and come back with your halftime show right after this on the ND Sports Channel. NorthDakotaScores.net is your top source for statewide scores for both boys and girls high school sporting events in the state of North Dakota. Football, soccer, basketball, hockey, wrestling, baseball, volleyball, softball. Get all the scores every game, every night, every single sports season of the school year. You can count on NorthDakotaScores.net year after year to provide over 99% of the results for high school sporting events in North Dakota, all reported from trusted and reliable sources. Follow North Dakota Scores on Twitter, search @NDScores and get the same scores on your mobile device every night. In our first year and 4 months on the air, the ND Sports Channel brought you a total of 407 games, and 377 of those games were exclusive broadcasts of the ND Sports Channel. That's 377 games that would have had zero broadcast coverage if not for the sponsors who support our sports webcast. We ask that you please patronize and support the sponsors you hear about in this sports broadcast on the ND Sports Channel. Join us and put your business products and services in front of an average of 234 viewers per game. Let's team up.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators.
All right, welcome back. Halftime here at Brant Kwame Field on the campus of Fargo South High School here in South Fargo. About 8 minutes or so before we start the second half of play. Currently sitting under a partly cloudy sky and 60 degrees. 7:43, sunset set for 8:15. That's 32 minutes from now. The lights are already on here at Brant Kwame Field, so that will not be an issue. We do have a chance for rain tomorrow, but for the rest of tonight, it should be clear. That chance of rain will start at about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. We will, let's see here, be about the upper, well, we were expecting to be in about the mid-50s by the time this game wrapped up. Looks like it might stay in the upper 50s. Right now we're at 60. At worst case, by sunset, we'll be to about maybe 56 possibly. So certainly appreciate Cameron Jacobson Biddle, if I'm saying that correctly, cheering on Kiana, who is her niece, and she is Kiana Robinson, of course, who plays for the Fargo South Bruins. We'll turn down our crowd mic there so we don't get blocked by YouTube for the Chris Brown music in the background right now. So, Carmen, once again, thanks for watching from Long Island, New York. Also want to say hi to Greta Jacobs in Hettinger. She sends us a message that said it'd be great if next school year there would be coverage for the high school state girls and boys swim meets. Is this something that you have considered? Well, to answer the question, Greta, yes, it is something we have considered. We have actually visited the swimming facility in West Fargo, talked to the facility manager, and we got the connection there through Jay DeCan at West Fargo High School. And we have spoke. We have toured the facility. There is an opportunity for us to broadcast there. Now, as far as the state meets go, usually the national, the NFHS, that's National Federation of High Schools, covers those state events, and the North Dakota High School Activity Association only allows one media company to broadcast a video of that. And right now, the NFHS has the rights to those swim meets, but that does not exclude us from regular season swim meets. So, yes, we have visited the facility. We have talked about it in meetings, and it is something that we're hoping to get into here in the near future. Will we have any this? I think the boys are swimming right now, or no? I think that season just came to an end. Actually, I'll have to check that up. But I know we have talked about it, and we're hoping to get into that. Another sport that we're hoping to get into, possibly, we've started talking about doing tennis matches too. Not exactly sure how we're going to put that together, but it is on the table, and we are brainstorming to see what our options are for that. Another suggestion that has come into us from some of our viewers is to do to do track meets, track and field events. So we've thought about that. That's on our brainstorming board as well. So about a year and 4 months ago, soccer was on our brainstorming board, and now we're doing soccer. So we do plan. We've done 7 different sports so far. We're hoping to add sports 8, 9, and 10 here over the near future. So, yes, we have considered it, and with fingers crossed, it won't be too much down the road where we'll have that opportunity to bring you some swim meets. We would absolutely love to do that. One of the things that is a concern to us, and we're working on getting some equipment and materials to help assist with the matter, is the humidity in the swimming pools that could affect the quality of our equipment. We spent thousands of dollars on equipment. We'd prefer to keep it working. So we want to make sure we take all the precautions in order to do that. So thanks once again, Greta, for sending that message in. You can get a hold of us on our Facebook page, facebook.com. Excuse me here. I don't know why I'm choking to myself here, but facebook.com/ND Sports Channel. On Twitter, you can find us at ND Sports CH1. Is our Twitter handle. And then you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/ND Sports Channel. We've tried to make it consistent and as easy as possible to find us on all of our social media platforms. Of course, if you go to ndsportschannel.com, which is our website, right on the homepage there, you got this live video broadcast to the left, and if you don't have it on full screen, then right to the right is the direct links to all of our social media accounts. We'd certainly appreciate it if you were to like, follow, or subscribe to our various channels. And one thing I do want to say is I want to say thanks so much. Let's get an updated number here. No, we're still at 980, so we're 20 followers shy on Twitter of 1,000. So we try and get one thing. If we're not covering like swim or track or tennis matches, you can get the scores to those same events on our Twitter page as well. Last check, Fargo North led 2-0, or check that, Fargo Shanley led 2-0 over Fargo North in the girls' soccer game being played a little bit to the southeast of us here at Brent Kwame Field. 2-0, Fargo Shanley at last check led over Fargo North. In the JV game, Fargo Davies defeated Fargo South 2-0. And let's see here. Girls, well, that was yesterday's, but in case you didn't know, Grand Forks Central defeated West Fargo yesterday in girls tennis 6-3. Let's see here. Some other scores. Velva defeats West Hope Newburgh Bachno in softball 18-3 in 5 innings. Emma Passa for Velva got a 2-run home run, a 3-run home run, and a grand slam. All she needed was a solo home run to complete the home run cycle in that 18-3 win. Once again, that's a final in 3 innings. Velva wins over West Hope Newburgh. Let's see here. have a final on the Fargo-Shanley Valley City softball game. At last check, it was in the fourth inning, but I don't have a score on that one. Let's see if I can pull that up, actually. And that one's actually over. West Fargo defeats Valley. Check that. No, Valley City defeats West Fargo 5-3, and they hand West Fargo their first loss of the season. So once again, that is a final 5-3. Oh, you know what? I apologize. That was a score from April 16th of 2018. So scratch that. Fargo-Shanley defeats Valley City. There we go. I was looking at West Fargo for some reason. Fargo-Shanley defeats Valley City 10-6. And I promise you, that's a score from about 1 hour ago. So that one has gone final. And we had a couple other ones here. Minot defeating Watford City. I'm assuming that was in 5 innings, but it doesn't say that here on the official scorecard. 23-0 Minot over Watford City in high school softball. And that is all the updates we have so far here. We'll take another timeout, and we're about 30 seconds away. And we'll be right back here on the ND Sports Channel.
The game is close. It's a big rivalry. Students jump out of their seats while the cheerleaders lead the chanting. Everyone is on edge. The shot is up and the buzzer sounds. All eyes follow the ball. Will it fall through the net? You can hear the hush of the crowd. With your whistle, you watch if his feet were inside the line or not. The crowd erupts. It's a game winner. Or is it? You make the call. Become an official. Contact your local high school. A message from the North Dakota High School Activities Association.
All right, welcome back. Told you it'd be a quick break. 1-0 Fargo Davies off a goal by Ali Matter at the 29-20 mark of the first half of play, and that's where we stand at the end of halftime. Once again, 40-minute halves, and Fargo Davies will have the ball to start the second half of play here from Brent Kwame Field in South Fargo. Beautiful facility. We had the privilege of broadcasting the very first game played here on Brent Kwame Field. And that was a Fargo South football game against Grand Forks Central, a game in which Fargo South absolutely dominated. I believe the final score was 40-something to 7. I can't remember the exact score, but Fargo South scored at least 40 in that football game against Grand Forks Central. Here's an opportunity now for, and I forgot to go back to our screen here. There we go. Now I got it. So now I can see who's playing out there. Thanks to our camera, I'm able to catch some of those gold on white jersey numbers, which from, if I look up out the press box window from a distance, looks like white on white, which, as you can possibly imagine, would be very difficult to see. But looking at the camera on the screen here, it's a little bit easier to see gold on white and find out who has the ball there for Fargo Davies Eagles. So certainly appreciate you bearing with us there as we go through that struggle. But it hasn't been too bad since we figured out the way to that it'd best work for me, since I'm the one calling the action. I'm the one that it should work for, right? Toss will come in. Fargo Davies will touch it. Fargo South will try and boot it back in. Fargo South going from left to right, and that will be saved by Brianna Nelson. A lot of Fargo Davies fans off to our immediate left outside of the press box, and then the Fargo South fans directly in front of us and to our right here, which is our crowd mic is more to the right, so you'll probably hear more of the Fargo South fans than you would the Fargo Davies fans on the crowd mic. We are looking at changing that too. We've looked at some equipment options to get us a couple more crowd mics and even a new microphone system that would just be even better than what we already have. And well, a lot of people have said that it sounds good as it is, but I'd like to get a few more options there. We're about $200 away from making that happen. Brianna Nelson. I wanted to. There's a Bryn Nelson on Fargo South. I almost got that one mixed up there. Nelson will boot that one. Fargo South will make contact with it, and And will they advance it? Yeah, they'll get around the defender. And a nice move there by Fargo South. I think that was Parker Seelig. No, that was 13, not 23. Avery Myers, excuse me. And now we have a Fargo South Bruin down. I believe I looked down at the roster right when it happened. I believe she might have got hit in the face with the ball. That is Karina Grothman who's down right now. And I'm not sure why the crowd is saying what they're saying, so we're going to take a timeout so we can avoid that and be right back after this here on the Indy Sports Channel.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators.
Indy Softball All-Stars has a new look on a new website that gives you easy access to what you want to know about upcoming activities, all-star game records, college commitments, and easy access to every episode of the Indy Softball All-Stars podcast. Visit the new website at ndsballstars.com. Every year, the top seniors in the state get one more chance to play the game they love. Please consider a donation to help support this great program. Send your gift to Indy Softball All-Stars, P.O. Box 6544, Fargo, North Dakota, 58109. All right, so we return to play now. Karina Grothman, for the most part, walked off on her own will. Should have maybe a little bit of assistance, but it was 90-10 in favor of Karina Grothman, so that's the good news. She will more than likely be all right. And I think if I heard the PA announcer correct, Bryn Nelson's going to come in to take her place. Once again, it's Karina Grothman who got hit hard with a ball, and that sent her face first to the turf, and she was assisted off. But once again, it was a more 90% Karina Grothman and 10% assistance getting off the field. So that's the good news there. She will more than likely be just fine as the ball will go out of bounds there. And I want to say hi to Corey and the rest of the crew at Spuds TV. I want to say thanks for mentioning us on Twitter. We are certainly glad to help you guys out with your debut of Spuds TV. They did their first lacrosse game yesterday, first game ever on Spuds TV, and they put on Twitter that they rated their broadcast a C+, because they had a few issues that they weren't sure how to tackle. I was like, hey, why don't we meet? And we did that. We met for coffee. I took a look at some of their equipment and software and made a few adjustments to some settings, and now they just said that everything's going great. So I am so happy that that's happening for you there. All right, now I believe they're doing a boys lacrosse game that started at either 7 or 7:30. That's local time here, central time here, for those from watching from out of state. And that's not and somehow did that get in, or is it going to be a goal? It will be a goal for Fargo Davies. I wasn't sure what exactly was happening there, as it looks like Brianna Nelson is still down. I don't know if she got kicked while trying to defend that ball. It appears that she might be holding her hands towards her face. We'll take another timeout here for the injury. That'll stop the clock with 36 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the second half. 1-0 Fargo Davies, back in 30 seconds, maybe 60, depending on the length of the injury timeout here. And it is indeed 2-0 now. We'll see if that stands after this.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in North Dakota so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, welcome back. 36-11 to go here in the second half. It's 2-0 in favor of Fargo Davies, who may have suffered a little bit of disruption there during the commercial break. And we do apologize for that, as we appeared to have lost the internet signal that we were working on. All right, so I think I heard over the walkie-talkie it might be Asia Keller, a sophomore who's now playing goal for Fargo Davies.
Number 22, Livia Karnick.
Oh, I'm sorry, number 22 instead of number 21. So Livia Karnick, she's a freshman in goal here for Fargo Davies now. Brianna Nelson is out. We had an extended break there for that injury. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I believe she may have gotten hit in the face. I don't know if she got kicked unintentionally. We'll have to look at the replay and see if we can figure that one out, but hopefully that she'll be okay. That's 2 injuries now, one for each team. This one seemed to be a little bit more, I don't want to necessarily use the word severe, but maybe significant than the previous injury. It's probably the best way to put it. Still no word on who scored that goal. We'll try and find that out here. We'll have you follow the action. We'll try and get that information here. We'll keep it right here while Fargo Davies appears to be on a... All right, welcome back. It was Livia Karnick who scored the goal. I think I mentioned her earlier as the goalie, but it was the wrong team there. That was my bad. It was the Fargo South goalie, and I was looking at the Fargo Davies roster when I said the name. So I apologize for that. Brianna Nelson is just fine. Lexi Johnson is the one out. Haley Hansen, the sophomore, is now playing goalie for Fargo South. So we got that straight. The second goal was scored by Livia Karnick at the 35-11 mark of the second half. And now we have another opportunity, and that was a nice save there by Haley Hansen, the sophomore. We have another soccer score that came in here. Let's see here if I can pull that one up really quick. At halftime, West Fargo Cheyenne leads Grand Forks Red River by the score of 4-0 in girls soccer. So 4-0 Red River or Cheyenne over Red River. At last check, Fargo Shanley had a 2-0 lead over Fargo North, and presently Fargo Davies with a 2-0 lead over Fargo South. Baseball score, top of the fifth, nobody out. Williston leads Bismarck Century by a score of 1-0. Once again, that's in the top of the fifth with nobody out.
Olivia Opine, and in for the Bruins, number 25, Karina Grothman.
So Karina Grothman, number 25, returns to the lineup. She's the one who went out earlier with that we'll say insignificant or not a serious injury. And then we'll see Olivia Opine, number 9 for Fargo Davies for the first time in this soccer matchup. We called her name several times following some Fargo Davies hockey this past winter. And now we get to see her again on the soccer field with just over 31 minutes to go here in the second half. 31.5 to be more pinpoint on that one. Picking it up there for Fargo South, Olivia Abel. She's an 8th grader, plays midfielder and forward for the Bruins. That one will get ricocheted back over towards the Fargo Davies goalie, Brianna Nelson, who, I apologize once again, misspoke on identifying the injured player there. So, once again, she's just fine. It's the other one that got hurt. So, I apologize for that. Haley Hansen in goal for the Bruins. Brianna Nelson in goal for the Eagles. Coming down the near side now was Alyssa Paper. Looking for the centering pass, and that shot went wide right of the goal. So Haley Hansen will set up for the kick here. And she'll boot it away. Over to the far sideline where Davies will pick it up. Trying to get around a couple defenders, but knocking it away there is Bryn Nelson for the Bruins. And I apologize. We turned down that crowd mic.
Oh, here we go, yellow, here we go, Bruins!
To avoid the music, and then we forgot to turn it back on. So 10 minutes of this game was almost like a silent video had it not been for me occasionally talking. And I apologize for that. It's one thing. If I'm not talking, I want you to hear at least some background noise. So that was almost a nice move there by Jensen Seidel, a freshman, number 3 for the Fargo Davies Eagles. And then a nice defensive move there by the Bruins. But Fargo Davies gets it right back, and now that's Bryn Nelson poking it away as the ball moves up over the midfield stripe. Coming down the near sideline here is Karina Grothman. Grothman will boot it down, and it's a one-on-one race, but getting there first will Brianna Nelson. She'll scoop it up just inside of the yellow line, inside of the goal box. And now she'll let her teammates advance downfield, and she'll set up and boot it away. A high kick, drop just shy of the 40-yard line, just shy of a 50-yard kick there. Actually, I take that back. It was more like a 30-yard kick there for Brianna Nelson. Now the Eagles trying to make a move here, setting something up, advancing up is Seidel. Seidel to the near side, I believe that was Megan Barnett, and right into the hands of Haley Hansen. Making a nice save, and now she'll put up a high boot that lands just on the back of the neck there, Karina Grothman, and now Fargo Davies might get it back, and they do.
Windows, girls, windows!
Eagles will advance the ball up the field.
Get on her.
That is Barnick. Barnick tried the centering pass. It went off the back of one of the Bruins. Couldn't see which one that was. And now they'll boot it out of there. And like a pinball, going back and forth. And now they'll bounce it, kick it back to their goalie, Brianna Nelson. And she will put up a high boot to the far sideline there. That'll get onto the foot of her teammate, who's being guarded by Ashley Sather.
That was my second time.
In 2 days.
In 2 days? I feel being tracked. Yeah, that's right. I'll be fine.
So now throw in for Fargo Davies from the far sideline. 27 minutes and 14 seconds to go here in the second half. It's a 2-0 lead for Fargo Davies. First goal scored in the first half by Allie Matter at the 29-20 mark. The second goal scored in the second half here by Lydia Carney.
Come on, Bruins, you got it.
Go, Sadie!
Bruins will try and get it out of the zone there.
Go, Sailor.
Nice pass right back there to Jensen Seidel. Now they'll work it inside, and a little hip check there by Sadie Wilson. Some of the fans not happy with what's happening out there. You can probably hear that in the background there. Davies trying to switch fields with the ball, but they will eventually get that done. It wasn't the easy way, though. And now over on the far sideline, Davies will look to set up an attack here. There's a centering pass, but it'll go wide right of the goal, and that'll be nothing more than a goal kick for Haley Hansen, the sophomore, taking over.
In for the Eagles, number 17, Erica Peters, and number 18, Sophia Frappier. And in for the Bruins, number 24, Sasha Coyer.
And there's all your substitutions. Once again, Haley Hansen in for Lexi Johnson, who started the game in goal. Now Haley Hansen will finish the game. And she'll boot it away. Right under the foot of a Davies player, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Fargo South throw-in. 25-27 and counting to go. Here in the second half of play, this game will be available for a 24/7 replay. If you have friends or family that weren't able to catch the whole game live, well, the whole game will be available within about 10 to 15 minutes after the conclusion of this broadcast for a 24/7 on-demand replay. Also on the homepage of our website, we have a donate button. There's no minimum donation, there's no maximum donation. We just ask that you use the decimal point so we don't mistake $10 for $1,000.
Sadie.
Of course, if there is a question about it, we'll email you, because email is required to make the donation in case there are issues with it that we need to clarify. We certainly appreciate any help that you could get. It helps to go with equipment costs for replacement equipment if something breaks down. And then it also helps with postseason broadcasts. The NDHSAA requires broadcast fees for all district, regional, and state tournaments, regardless of the sport. Also helps for travel costs in the event that we need to go somewhere on the other side of the state for a road game for one of the teams that we're following, or if we just have a great matchup happening out there that we want to get to and get it on for you. That's something that we do as well. So those are a few of the things that your donations help with, and we'll send you a receipt. Keep that for your records, put it into your tax file, whatever you want to do.
Here we go, Bruins, here we go!
23-37 and counting to go here in the second half. I think this is a lacrosse score. But the Moorhead Spuds leading right now 3-0 over Sartell.
In for the Eagles, number 7, Taylor Lawrence.
2:39 remaining in the first half of that lacrosse game.
And in for the Bruins, number 23, Parker Seelig.
Sam Harmon, Mason Borley, Caleb Yoakum, and Alex Luz are the 4x800 team for the Bismarck Legacy Sabres. Or, I'm sorry, the Fargo North Spartans is what I meant to say. And once again, the 4x800 team, they qualified for state with a time of 8 minutes, 4.91 seconds. So congratulations to the Fargo North track team qualifying for state on that 4x800 run. If you have any updates for us, you can send them to us via our text message. We have a station phone that's exclusive for our viewers to send us messages to. 701-404-9072 is the number on that one. You can also send those scores to us by tagging us on your Twitter at NDSportsCH1. Or you can send it to us via a Facebook message, and we'll get that as well. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd certainly appreciate that. If you have some friends that haven't subscribed to it, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers to unlock a few more features on our broadcasts here. So any help that you can give with that would be appreciated. Halftime girls soccer, Minot and Bismarck knotted up at 0-0. That came in about 2 minutes ago. So 0-0 between Minot and Bismarck in girls soccer at halftime. As Fargo South will work it up, and then it's intercepted at the midcourt stripe there by Fargo Davies' Taylor Wills. She's a junior. They'll put it onto the foot of Taylor Lawrence. Lawrence up the near sideline. They're racing up. Can't quite see who that is. Centering pass was partially intercepted by our Fargo South there. They weren't able to control it. Now a shot from the top of the box is going to go high and over the net. 20 minutes, 49 seconds in counting to go here in the second half. A 2-0 lead for Fargo Davies off goals by Allie Matter in the first half at the 29-20 mark. And then Livia Karnick in the second half at the 35.
In for the Eagles, number 16, Tasha Wynn. And in for the Bruins, number 9, Kiana Robinson.
Kiana Robinson checking back into the Fargo South lineup here for the Bruins. 20 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Robinson wearing number 9 for the Bruins. Bruins in their yellowish gold. Going from left to right. Fargo Davies in their white jerseys going from right to left with gold numbers. And game 1 of a doubleheader between Jamestown and Bismarck Century in softball. Jamestown wins 4-3 in game 1. Game 2 seems a little late to start game 2, but maybe they will start game 2. We'll see. And another softball score that just went final. Hart River defeats Washburn 12-2. And let's see here. That's all we have at the moment. I believe that's a game 2 score. Velva 18, West Hope Newburgh 3. I believe that's game 2 of a doubleheader. I know they did game 1 earlier tonight. At last check in the top of the 6, it remains 1-0 in favor of Bismarck Century over Williston in a boys baseball matchup. That is being played in Williston, I believe. On the hill for the Coyotes is Garrett Hill for Williston. 18.5 to go in this one. It remains 2-0 in favor of Fargo Davies. Still looking for an update from Fargo Shanley as the Deacons are hosting Fargo North. At last check, they were leading 2-0. That was as of about 50 minutes ago, so just shy of an hour ago, they were leading 2-0. We don't have an update on that yet. They scored first, leading 1-0, and Emily Post scores for the Deacons to make it 2-0 at last check over the Fargo North Spartans. 17.5 in this one. Fargo let's try that again. Fargo South will boot it out, at least for the moment. Davies will pick it up about 40 yards away from the net, advance it down the near sideline. Nice move, cutting to the right and then cutting to the left. A little collision down in the corner, no whistle. Fargo South will come away with it and give it right back to Fargo Davies, and then Fargo South and Fargo Davies will touch up on the ball on back-to-back touches once again. And it'll finally go out of bounds for a Bruin throw-in. Karina Grothman will enter your camera in a moment. There she is, and she'll have the throw-in here for the Bruins.
Get available, yellow. It's night tonight. I'm telling you. We had traffic.
In for the Bruins, number 13, Avery Myers, and number 14, Olivia Abel.
Go up on her.
To the best of our knowledge, we're still waiting on one score for the softball games that have been played today. All but one of them have been reported as final, so we'll try and take a look at that here in a moment, see if we can get you caught up on that. 16 minutes to go here in the second half. One goal in the first half, one goal so far here in the second half. Allie Matter and Livia Karnick with goals 1 and 2 respectively. 29-20 in the first half, 35-11 in half number 2. As Kiana Robinson will boot that one up. And there's an opportunity for Fargo South. I believe that's Kiana, no, check, that's Karina Grothman. She runs into the goalie, was pushed. No call there, and that's the correct call, a no call. And at Fargo Davies, it's getting a little bit harder to see those numbers under the lights, even on the monitor here.
Good job, Allie. Get on it. Backside, Sayla. There you go.
14 and a half to go now here in the second half. Ball gets deflected. Fargo South defender will move it up into the direction of Kiana Robinson. Robinson will pass it onto the foot there. Number 14, Olivia Abel. And now it goes up. Karina Grothman giving chase and booting it out of bounds for Fargo Davies. Was the defenseman, I believe that was Livia Karnick. South will pick up, it was Bryn Nelson for the moment who had the ball, and then Fargo Davies will advance it up. Over on the far side there, I believe that's Emily Hansen. Hansen, nice diving grab there by Haley Hansen. 13-17 and counting to go here in half number 2 as Hansen will boot it away up over the midfield stripe. Little contact there, and now the whistle is a little bit of a delayed whistle there.
Jump ball.
Looks like Karina Grothman may have had a word received from the official there, but can't confirm that. But it certainly appeared that way.
Good job, Sayla. Stay on her, Kiana. Back, Eli. Out.
And ball go out of bounds. That'll be a Fargo South throw-in. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those softball scores here, as I believe we got them all lined up. Final and 5.
In for the Eagles, number 4, Megan Barnick. Number 5, Michaela Selensky. number 15, Alyssa Paper, number 21, Asia Keller, and number 22, Lydia Karnick.
So now we'll try it. As the throw in for Fargo South will be on the horizon here. Minot over Watford City, 23-0. Hankinson Tri-State defeats Central Cass for the first time in program history, 6-3. That's a softball score. West Fargo Cheyenne defeats Devils.
Also in for the Eagles, number 13, Avery Byer, and back in for the Bruins, number 12, Ashley Sather.
And a final in 5 innings. Thompson defeats Pembina County North, 14-3. Mayport CG in 6 innings defeats Grafton 13-3. Dakota Prairie defeats Larimore in 5 innings, 15-3. Hart River defeats Washburn 12-2. Valley City falls to Fargo Shanley 10-6. Let's see here. Wilton Wing defeats Harvey Wells County 6-3. Velvet Drake Animu Sawyer in 5 innings over West Hope Newburgh Botno 18-3. There was an opportunity and a nice defensive play by Fargo South to boot it away there. That was Ali Rowe who booted it away. Dickinson 14-0 over Williston. Bismarck Century falls to Jamestown 4-3. Bismarck High over Bismarck Legacy 19-2 in 5 innings. And then Minot over Watford City 14-4 in 5 innings.
In for the Bruins, number 21, Hannah Weiler, and number 22, Sadie Wilson.
Dickinson defeats Williston 5-13-0. In game 2, Bismarck Century defeats Jamestown 10-2. And in game 2, Bismarck 16-6 over Bismarck Legacy in 5. All the other softball games were postponed, with the exception of Beulah and Central McLean. We don't have a final on that one. If you have it, we'd love to have it from you so we can pass it along.
China the Chrissy.
Someone's listening to the delayed broadcast, and you may be able to hear the faint sound of that in the crowd noise. So if you're wondering, that is what is happening. So stand up, try and take a quick glance. If that's not what's happening, then I don't know what to say. And we don't discourage listening to it out there. We just wanted to let you know in case someone who is watching is wondering. So. Still no update from Fargo Shanley. At last check, it was 2-0 Deacons over the Spartans. Here we have 8.5 to go in this one. Fargo South trailing 2-0. Karina Grothman will get the touch, but will lose it. And then she'll get it right back. But she's right in the midst of 3 Davies defenders. Drops it back onto the foot there of Ashley Sather. Sather back to Grothman. Grothman will lose it. It'll come onto the foot of who I believe is number 13, Avery Byer. Once again, with the lights, I absolutely cannot see the jersey numbers anymore like I could in the first half before the lights came on. So I do apologize for that. I'll do the best I can.
Ashley, go! Hey!
Davies will boot it away. He'll come onto the foot there of Sather.
Come on, Trina!
Ooh, oh, I don't know about that one. I honestly don't know about that one. Karina Grothman is, the official wanted her to come, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there was definitely contact made, but and maybe a free kick should have been awarded, but as to the severity of the official basically yelling at Karina Grothman with excessive hand gestures, I don't know if that's what I'm questioning is if necessary. I mean, these are high school kids. You don't need to yell at them just because they do something that's against the rules of the game. Just give them a kind verbal warning. And I'm not the type to disrespect a referee either, or an official, but we'll just wrap it up with those comments, and we'll let you form your own opinion. So.
Go, Greta.
Come on, Greta! Don't back up, girl, you got it!
6:20 to go here.
In for the Eagles, number 20, Kylie Glover. And in for the Bruins, number 9, Kiana Robinson.
5:57 to go here in county. As the Davies Eagles will bring the ball up over the midfield stripe. Temporarily poking it away there was Sadie Wilson. And now Fargo South will get it in the defense. They tried to move it up in the direction of Olivia Abel, but Fargo Davies is right there to put a little bit of pressure on. And now Bryn Nelson fighting with the ball over on the far sideline with one of the Eagles forwards. And that shot will be blocked by the foot of, I can't see the jersey number. By a Fargo South defenseman, let's put it that way. 5:13 and counting. And a shot on goal, and it's in! That goal comes with 5:05 to go here in the third period of play, or second half of play, Scott, excuse me. We'll get the goal call here in a moment because our camera person didn't follow the celebration, so we apologize for that. Not that I could have seen the jersey number anyway, but.
Got Sadie.
Scoring for the Eagles, number 3, Jensen Seidel.
Going after it.
Once again, that Jensen Seidel goal coming at the 5:05 mark. And Fargo Davies looking to attack again, and that one will get ricocheted off to the right side of the net. Shot on goal is into the left corner, on the lower left corner, off the foot of Megan Barnett. So that makes it 4-0.
Barnett.
So number 4 gets the 4th goal of the game for Fargo Davies on the penalty kick. And that, advancing the ball up, and it's taken away there by Fargo Davies. .257 and counting to go now here in the second half of play. Went through all the softball scores, still looking for a couple of finals in soccer. They should be going finals soon here.
This is OG.
The Dakota Prairie Larimore score that we reported earlier. Dakota Prairie winning 15-3 over the Larimore Polar Bears. That was Dakota Prairie's first win of the year. One of the newer teams in softball. Only been around for a handful of seasons. Once again, a majority of these scores can be found on our Twitter page. If for some reason you did not catch them. And as soon as the soccer finals come in, if they don't come in before the conclusion of this game, you'll find them on our Twitter page as well, at ND Sports CH1. We'd love it if you were to follow us. With the ball right now, that's Olivia Karnick. She has 1 goal, and she will almost have 2. Almost have 2. As it just goes a little bit wide right. .125 and counting to go here in the second half. And that'll be a Fargo Davies throw-in. Official initially signaled towards Fargo South and then switch the direction of the flag there. Bryn Nelson on the ball right now. It's taken away on the far side there. Can't quite
1 minute left in the game.
That's a high kick and high into the right side of the goal. Out of bounds goal kick for Haley Hansen and the Fargo South Bruins. 47 ticks and counting here. We'll take about a 30-second break after this wraps up, and then we'll come back and give you a game recap. Set you up for what's coming up next here, at least crossing our fingers. Potentially, it's what's on our schedule. Gotta love North Dakota weather and spring sports. They never seem to cooperate. Shout out to Corey Erickson, head coach for Hillsborough Central Valley. Worked so hard to get that field ready, and then as soon as it was ready, it got 7 inches of snow dumped on it, and all his work was for nothing. So I certainly felt bad for Corey. He's a great guy. Talked to him many times. That's the horn, and that'll be your final score. The Fargo Davies Eagles will defeat the Fargo South Bruins by the score of 4-0. Scoring first was Allie Matter at the 29-20 mark of the first half of play. That would be the only goal scored in the first half. And then the second goal would come from Livia Karnick at the 35-11 mark of the second half. That is the same goal where Lexi Johnson, the goalie, would get hurt, and she would go out, and Haley Hansen would come in. After that, so Lexi Johnson gives up 2 goals and Haley Hansen gives up 2 goals. One at the 5:05 mark to Jensen Seidel, and then the other one at the 3:45 mark to Megan Barnick. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back in 30 seconds, and we'll wrap this thing up here from Brant Mondi Field in South Fargo. It's 4-0, Fargo Davies over Fargo South. Your final score. Back in a moment here on the ND Sports Channel.
Paper tickets. Rookie mistake. Game Time is the fastest way to buy tickets to live events with your friends. You can buy the perfect seats in seconds, and tickets are delivered directly to your phone, so you always have them with you. Download Game Time free on the App Store, and you'll instantly see a curated list of the best upcoming events in your area. Game Time sorts through thousands of available seats on the market and presents you with only the 50 best values. One of the best things about Game Time is you can get tickets at last-minute prices even after the game starts. Download Game Time free on the App Store today.
All right, welcome back. 4-0 your final score. Fargo Davies Eagles getting goals from the freshman Jensen Seidel, the senior Megan Barnick, the senior Allie Matter, and the freshman Olivia Karnick. Allie Matter scored the first one. Karnick scored the second one. Seidel scored the third one, and Barnick scored the fourth and final goal on the penalty shot at the 3:45 mark of the second half. So once again, 4-0 your final. We did get one of these soccer scores in. West Fargo Cheyenne defeats Grand Forks Red River by a score of 7-0. So a good day for West Fargo Cheyenne. I believe that game was up in Grand Forks at Cushman Field up there in Grand Forks, which is another turf field. Broadcast, matter of fact, that's where the state championship game was played this past fall for the boys soccer. Let's see here. Coming up, in theory, here on the ND Sports Channel. If I can pull that up. I had it up, and now it disappeared on me. Let's try and pull it up again here. Once again, you can go to ndsportschannel.com, click on the menu button, and under Games, click on Game Schedule. And you can find out what's coming up next. So up next is tentatively scheduled more soccer. And this coming Thursday, Fargo North will host West Fargo Cheyenne. And assuming that one of the postponed softball games doesn't get rescheduled for April 18th, we'll have that soccer matchup for you here between Fargo North and West Fargo Cheyenne right here on the ND Sports Channel. Let's see here. Just got an update from Fargo Shanley, Fargo North. Let's get that one in for you here. And I don't know, the update was there and it disappeared. So let's see if we can fix it really quick. And Fargo Shanley defeats Fargo North by a score of 5-0. So 5-0, Fargo Shanley defeats Fargo North. We'll see that Fargo North team tentatively on Thursday when they take on West Fargo Cheyenne here on the ND Sports Channel up in North Fargo, home of the Fargo North Spartans. And then following that, our next game is scheduled for Tuesday, April 23rd, as West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs will host the Fargo North Spartans in high school softball. That'll be a doubleheader that we'll have for you here on the ND Sports Channel. And then we'll head up to Devil's Lake, and we'll see the Firebirds in a doubleheader against the Spartans once again. Once again, those games still unofficially pending, although they played a game up in Devil's Lake today, so that would suggest that that game will happen. And then Fargo North will host Dickinson on the April 26th, and on April 27th, we'll have two games for you. We'll start at 10 a.m. Fargo South, in theory, will host Dickinson at 10 in the morning. And then we'll wrap up that broadcast. We'll cruise over to the Loden Center in West Fargo and bring you the West Fargo Packers and the Bismarck St. Mary's Saints in high school girls soccer. And assuming the field is ready over there, I'm not sure if it is or not. I'll have to check in with Jay to be sure. And then we'll head back to softball. Fargo Shanley, Fargo North on the April 30th, and that'll wrap up the month of April. And you can catch the month of May. We'll have some baseball and softball coming up in May, or baseball and soccer as well as softball coming up in May as well here on the ND Sports Channel. So once again, all the games in red on our schedule, those are pending rescheduling. So we don't know when at this time those games will be rescheduled, but when they are rescheduled, we'll more than likely have them for you here on the ND Sports Channel. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, your final score here in high school girls soccer. Fargo Davies defeats Fargo South by a score of 4-0 with goals by Allie Matter, Olivia Karnick, Jensen Seidel, and Megan Barnett in that order. Goals 1, 2, 3, and 4 for a final score of 4-0. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you on Thursday, in theory, from Fargo North High School for more girls high school soccer here on the ND Sports Channel. Have a great night. Watch all the games on the ND Sports Channel on your home television screen. If your smart TV, Blu-ray, Xbox, PlayStation, 4K, or DVD player has access to the YouTube app, you can watch the ND Sports Channel on your big screen TV right at home, both live games and replays. Simply click on the YouTube app on your smart TV, and with the remote, move over to the search button, type in or highlight ND Sports Channel, and then select the live feed. Or you can browse the game library and watch a previous game on demand anytime you would like. We invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/ND Sports Channel. You can also watch live games and replays of games on your mobile device using the YouTube app, which can be downloaded from your mobile device's app store if it's not already on your device. Thanks for watching the ND Sports Channel. It's ND Sports Online.